We really need to learn a lot. So we are here more than 30 people the last time that I've seen. And that means that we really, really need to learn. And we are willing to do that. So my name is Vera Cunha and I am the public relations of the district. Thank you for being here. I have to tell you that we had more or almost 100 registrations for this webinar, and that is awesome. That means that we really need to learn. And we are all aware that digital is the way. We are facing those well-known problems, challenges, and living in a digital world. And I remember today the Madonna song, Don't Worry, I am not going to sing, but do you remember that song? Because we are living in a digital world and I am a digital girl. We need to develop new skills and find new ways to reach new members. And if digital is the place where we live now, digital is the place where we will find new members. But we have to become more professionals in order to do so. That's why today we have a professional in social media campaigns to share her knowledge with us. With a degree in veterinary medicine, became a growth hacker in 2016 for Petable, a startup that focuses on going digital in animal health. In 2018, co-founds Digitail, a spin-off by Petable, a digital marketing agency focused on the pet and vet markets. Works with small businesses, veterinary clinics in Portugal through training and digital marketing. Manages digital marketing campaigns for major international corporations operating in the animal health and nutrition markets. Lucky for us, became a Toastmasters in 2019 and has been VPPR in the Lisbon Orient Toastmasters Club since 2020. She is Vanessa Ralha and she is the digital girl. Just welcome her with a huge smile and a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, Vanessa. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Vera, and thank you everyone that showed up here today. I'm overwhelmed. I'm super honored to be here and to convey this, this knowledge to you that I started working in this area 5 years ago, and it's been ever changing, ever growing. It's the world we now live in, and it's kind of been precipitated by all the pandemic and the fact that we have to socially distance from others, but we have to be even more physically, even more digitally present in everyone else's lives. So it makes ever more sense to reach new members and our current members in a digital way. So all this came about recently when I was helping the Toastmasters Iberia, the district, to launch a campaign for a very specific event we had here in Portugal, the Learners Event. And as I was building these campaigns to help, promote and send the message a little bit further digitally, Vera gave me this challenge to say, well, wouldn't you like to teach us how to build one of these campaigns online, like a tutorial, like a real-time workshop for any members or any VPPRs that might be interested? And I was like, let's do it. So here we are. Let me just give you a little heads up. We're recording this session. So as from now, as I begin my presentation, if you don't wish your image or your name to be on the YouTube channel when we share this with other Toastmasters, you can turn off your camera, you can change your name to a pseudonym. If you're fine with that, it's just going to be shared internally, then let's proceed. And let me see if I can share. Here we go. So if you're all here by now, you already know how important it is to go digital. I mean, in 2021, it was important back in 2016 when I started, and it's increasingly more so. So I'm just going to walk you through what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to tell you very briefly why we should be creating Facebook campaigns. And if you're already here, then you already know that you have to be doing this. I'm going to tell you how to begin to do this. I'm going to show you how to create an actual campaign. And then we're going to create one real time. I'm going to take you into Ads Manager, and I'm going to please ask you, bear with me, because when we're streaming and working with a web platform, things tend to get a little bit slower. So if we do have a little bit of waiting time in between steps, I apologize for that beforehand, but it's all we can do. So why should you be creating Facebook campaigns, which is to say paid ads? Well, the truth is your audience is already on Facebook, right? So with 2.7 billion monthly active users, Facebook is still king of social media. I mean, there's no way going around it, even with all the scandals, even with all Delete Facebook, even with Cambridge Analytica, everyone is still using Facebook, and even more so. So recent studies have shown that since the beginning of 2020 and all the pandemic, Facebook usage has actually increased 70% by the people who are already registered. So it's increasing in number of users and it's increasing in usage. So we need to be on Facebook and we need to reach people. More so, Facebook already allows you to target the people you want to reach. So if you haven't ever discovered Audience Insights, I left you the link on this presentation. We're going to share this presentation with you as well, so you can check out this link. Check out everything that Facebook allows you to filter, from demographics, interests, jobs. I mean, everything that could be interesting to you to reach your target audience. If you check on Audience Insights and you see what type of people are already following you on your Facebook pages, in your club, in your area, in your district, you'll see that you have, well, at least in our case, and I did a very brief study, we have more women than men, about 54% women. We have especially people with higher education degrees. So 10% of people are only have high school degrees, and then 90% have higher education. So that could be a really good thing to target for. So people interested in public speaking and leadership are more so people who have higher education. And do check out Audience Insights. It's going to give you loads of information. Third reason for doing Facebook campaigns, it's still relatively cheap. If you don't know the metric CPM, we're going to check it out in a minute in Ads Manager. It's cost per mille. It's the cost to reach 1,000 people. And it's still, and this is for the Iberian Peninsula, it's still around €1. Depends on the type of campaign that you're doing. I've worked for the US market. I've worked for the Australian market. The prices are, way blown out of proportion. But for us here, it's still relatively cheap. So it's a really good way to start reaching more people while it's still cheap, because when the competition gets a bit tougher, then you're going to see prices probably increase. Still, it's a really, really effective way of getting people to do what you want them to do. In marketing, we call this a call to action. So if you have an ad that says to people, click here, buy now, subscribe, register here, then you're going to have a greater number of people doing that if you're doing it through a Facebook ad than any other type of even digital media campaign, even if it's Google Ads. I remember going down the highway and seeing a billboard that's saying, check out our new website. And it had the name of the website. And I was like, are these people completely out of reality? I mean, there's no way I'm going to get my cell phone and start, clicking away and putting www. That's not how it works. I mean, get to me digitally, give me a link, I can click on it, and that's how I'm going to your website. I'm not going to copy some, tremendous, enormous website of the billboard. It's not how it works anymore. So please give me things that are seamless, that will make it easy, because end of the day, this is what marketing is all about. People are lazy. I mean, it's just, you need to be seamless and you need to get to them in the easiest possible way. And then, and this is probably the most important thing that I can convey to you, organic reach is, well, exactly what that emoji says there. Organic reach is reach that you don't pay for. So if your Facebook page, if your club's Facebook page has, let's say, 1,000 followers, you think, oh, I made this really cool post. It's got a really nice image and it's got a really nice copy. It's going to reach 1,000 people, right? So that's most people's understanding. And that's totally, totally wrong. Right now, when I started working in digital media about 2016, it was organic reach was around 6%. So a page with 1,000 followers would get to 60 people maybe. with no other interaction. I mean, if nobody clicked on it, if nobody liked it, commented, shared it, it reached 60 people. Right now, it's around 2.7%. So you might think you're doing, you know, the most amazing campaign ever. You might think that you have the best strategy, the best frequency of publication, you're doing the best posts with the best copy, and then you're reaching, you know, under 3% of your followers. That's why as a VPPR, I tend to be very annoying. Tiago can vouch for me. Every time I do a post, I'll put the link on our WhatsApp group and I'll say, guys, there's a new post. I need you to like and comment and share, because that's the way my organic reach is going to get a little bit further. Because when people start, you know, messing around with the post and interacting with it, then the algorithm in Facebook goes, oh, that's interesting to people. So let's show it to some more people. And my reach will actually grow. But the best way to grow your reach, which is to mean reach more people, get seen by more pairs of eyes, is paying. And that's what we're here for, is how do we create campaigns to get more people to see what I've been doing on Facebook. So exactly, where do I start? How do I get to Ads Manager? How do I get from here to know that complicated platform with all the tables and the columns and all the metrics? So first of all, you need to set up your Facebook Ads Manager. I've linked you to a tutorial from Facebook, which is the best way that you can do it, or I've linked you directly to Ads Manager. And if you're anything like me, I like to go to the platforms directly and start, you know, sorting things out. And only when I can't understand how to move forward, then I'm going to the tutorial to find out how it's done. But mostly it's, I would say this setup, the version is still relatively intuitive. Then the usage of the platform per se isn't so intuitive, but this part is. What you have to do is confirm your info. So it's linked to your personal Facebook profile, not your page, not your Facebook page, not your club page, your personal profile. Okay, it's going to be linked to that. Then it's going to ask you for your credit card info. And yes, that's a need to have. So you need to have some payment form for Facebook that it accepts. And then what you can do to this ad account is you can add other roles. So other people that, imagine that you're adding credit card info for your club's bank accounts. Let's say that you have credit card info for the club's bank account. Makes sense because this is publicity marketing for the club. But you need, you know, you can't be linked just to your personal profile. So you can add other members like your president, your vice president, your treasurer, whoever you think should be on this account to be able to see what's being spent and be able to see what's being done in terms of campaigns. So that could be a really, really good way to, you know, start this off for your club. But again, individually, you have to find out what works for you. I'm just here to tell you how we're going to start building the campaign. So once you've gone through this, you've got your ads manager, you've got your account. So we're going to create a campaign. Bear in mind, ad campaigns have 3 parts. It's going to be divided into 3 tabs. You're going to see the campaigns tab. And when you start creating a new campaign, that's where you set your goal. That's where you tell Facebook what's your objective with that campaign. And there are a whole lot of objectives. I'm going to focus mainly on 3, which is traffic awareness, and which is a kind of reach and interaction or engagement. But then when we're on the platform, I'll show you those. And at the ad sets level is where you define your audience. So where are the people that you want to reach? Like I'm working for Lisbon Orient Toastmasters, so I'll tell him, look, I want people within a 10-kilometer radius of my club. So those are my target audience. Those are the people who are probably going to become members with us. And you can define what interests they have, what hobbies they have. You can decide how long this ad is going to run, how much you want to spend on your campaign. So budget is here, the ad set level. And then only after you've defined all this, are you going to define your individual ads. So that means the images, the videos, the copies, everything you're going to write in your ad. And I'm going to show you a really small video real quick, just so I can take a breather here. And I know I speak very fast, so if anyone wants to interrupt me at any time, please do so. Okay, let me share that with you. Yes. Oops. Sorry. Is everyone hearing okay? Give me one of these if you've got audio. Can you hear?
It's a little bit low. If you can raise it up a little bit, that'd be good.
Sorry? Did I not share sound with you?
It's
try
with
this
sound,
again.
but it's a little bit low.
It's low.
Yeah.
I know what's the matter here. Okay, let's try this now.
Our campaign structure has 3 levels: campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Here's how the structure works. To run ads on Facebook, you'll need to choose an objective. An objective is what you want to accomplish with your ads, like promoting your app or building awareness of your business. Choosing an objective creates a campaign. That's the first level. The next level, ad sets, is where you'll choose your audiences, your ad schedule, where your ads appear, and how much you'll pay. At the ad level, it's all about what people will see. This is where you define your creative, or what appears in your ads: photos, videos, copy, links, and more. It's a simple structure, and it's easy to make adjustments so you can test which ads perform better. For example, if you ran a campaign to get more people to your website, you could test the responsiveness of different audiences at the ad set level and different photos, videos, and messages at the ad level. With our ads reporting tools, you'll be able to see which audiences respond most and which ads perform better. So you can make better marketing choices, like increasing budget at the ad set level when audiences respond well, and pausing or revising ads to improve performance. This simple structure makes it easy to optimize and measure your progress with all your audiences, so you can continue to reach your business goals. For more information, visit facebook.com/business.
So thank you for watching through that. If you understood how that divides into the 3-part structure I was telling you that campaigns are divided as, I'm going to show you next the campaign I did for the Learners event here in Portugal. I actually made 3 campaigns, and those are actually the 3 main types of campaigns that any one of you who's going to start doing social media campaigns is going to use. So either you're going to go for more reach, so make your content seen by more people, or you're going to ask people to go to a certain link or website. So those are traffic campaigns. And you can also ask people to engage with your ad in any way, be it liking your Facebook page. So you can actually run ads to increase the number of likes on your Facebook page. That's one of the goals that you can set. Or another type of engagement, which was the one we used here in the Learners event, is send people to a Facebook event. So there was this Facebook event created. I'm sure most of you have already used that function in your Facebook pages. You can create an event saying next session is going to be Wednesday at so-and-so time. And then you can create an image. And you can send people from the campaign to that event just to say, here, click here if you're interested, or if you're going to this event. So that's also an engagement campaign. So I created those 3 types of campaigns for the Learners event. And then after 1 day, we decided to go and look at it and see what the results were. After 2 days, and then on the 3rd day, we decided one of the campaigns wasn't pulling its weight. So we shut it down and we allocated the money that was being spent on that campaign on the other 2. So if you're with me up to now, then we're going to go directly into Ads Manager and finally see what this is all about. So you're going to see firsthand how Facebook makes money, basically. This is how Facebook wins its daily bread, which is funny. And I always comment this with my colleagues at work, that Facebook is made to be really, really intuitive and really easy to use from the user point of view. So if you're just a regular Facebook user and you're just checking out your friends' kids or something, and whatever your neighbor had for lunch yesterday, so if that's the kind of usage you do of Facebook, it's really, really intuitive. I mean, you can scroll everything, something new comes up, you already know how to use it. There's a new Facebook app, there's a new game to play, there's a new quiz, and you immediately know how to use it. And then on this side, you know, behind the screen, where Facebook is making money from us, who are advertisers, who are spending money on Facebook, trying to reach these people who give it, you know, day-to-day use. It's not so simply to use. It's not so intuitive. So that's why we're here today. I'm going to show you how we can really start building campaigns and start understanding the results they're giving us. And we're not, you know, just throwing money into a hole and not knowing what's happening behind the screen. And I'm going to create one campaign real time here with you, so you can see all the different steps. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of the results of the 3 campaigns we did for the learners event. So when you did all that onboarding, I showed you on the first slide with the tutorial, you're now in your ads manager. You have an ad account that's personal. You can share it with other accounts, with other roles, as I showed you. And now you can start creating. So you're in the campaigns tab here. You can just click create. Okay, I'm just going to quickly scroll through the other 2 tabs, which is ad sets and ads. Okay, which are the 3 parts in which a campaign is divided. So we're going to start by creating the campaign. And at the campaign level, you're going to decide what's your goal. What do you want to do with this campaign? What's it meant for? So let's say you were promoting an event like we were doing for learners. And you know, one of the goals that we thought is we need to put this poster, this image that we created, telling people this event is going to happen in front of as many eyes as we can. So that's a reach event. So you just go here to the first column where you say your campaign objective is either brand awareness or reach, and you select reach, okay? The other 2 campaigns, which are going to be the main ones that you're probably going to use, I don't know, in 99% of the cases of campaigns you're going to create, are going to be this one, traffic and engagement, okay? Engagement, I'm not going to create one for you, so I'm just going to show you this now, is where you can ask people to like your page. If you click engagement and page likes, you're creating a campaign that brings more likes to your Facebook page, okay? This could be really interesting if you want to grow your page. Growing page followers is something we call in digital marketing like vanity metrics. You can say, oh, I've got 3,000 followers, I've got 10,000 followers. And it doesn't really matter because we all know that, you know, for $5 you can get 1,000 followers from the Ukraine or whatever. But if you're a local business or a local club like we are in Toastmasters, you really want real followers, you know, real people. You want people from your community, your neck of the wood. So try to keep things local, and that's when we go to the demographics, and that's in the ad set section. But for now, we're going for a reach campaign, and you just continue. So he's created a new campaign for me. Okay, this is the part where I told you it'll take like 1 second between one step and the next, but because we're live streaming this, it takes a little bit more. You can change your campaign name. So this is Go Digital, just going to call it Toastmaster something and test. Okay. So here in campaign details, you can change the objective of the campaign if meanwhile you thought of something else. You can go into A/B testing. I don't actually advise you to go into A/B testing at this time, just leave it blank, it's okay. When you know a little bit more about Facebook campaigns, you can come back to this. It's basically, he divides your audience into groups and then tests different things, and you can see what works better for your campaign. I like to do A/B testing manually, which was kind of what I did with the learners campaigns. I created ABC testing, so I did 3 campaigns, and then I looked at them manually and said, this is performing better than that, so I'm turning this off, and I'm allocating my budget to the next one. So next. And now we're at the ad set level, okay? Second level of the campaign. You can give your ad set name. Okay. And let's call it Go Digital, Iberian. So normally at the ad set level, because you can test and you can select your demographic, your audience. I always put in the name of the ad set something that has to do with my audience. So it's going to be Iberian people with over 18 years old. So, but you can do, I mean, this is like what you name your files. You can name it whatever you want to organize it for yourself. Then you can set a daily budget, which normally won't let you go much under €1 per day. So that's like the minimum required for some sorts of campaigns. Others will give you like a little red alert saying, no, you have to spend at least €2 per day because you have a very big audience definition, whatever. But you can come here and test. And this is actually a very cool tool for you to use if you're asking your area director or your division director, to help you promote your club and, give you some funding. And this is a really cool way to come and to budget how much you're actually going to need to reach the people that you want to reach digitally. So use the ad set. You can create this campaign as a draft. It doesn't go live until you have the actual budget to go forward. So do that. Now, this is when the campaign starts. I'm just going to say it's going to start now. You can also set an end date. And this is actually very useful for things like you have the learners event. So, the event is on the 3rd of December. You don't want this ad running on the 4th and the 5th in case you forget to turn it off. So you just set an end date for it. Now, I'm going to say this one ends a week from now, okay? And now we get to the cool part, which is the audience. I always call it the cool part because, I really like this targeting option and the auction insights, the audience insights that Facebook allows you. Now, there's something really, really cool that I found out, which I didn't know, because of all the many interests that Facebook allows you to target for. I mean, I work in the vet and pet market, so I'm used to, people who like dogs, people who buy dog food, people who like cats. And so I was starting to do campaigns for Toastmasters. And I was like, so what interests are people who are potential Toastmasters looking for? So are they interested in what? In leadership, in public speaking? So actually what I did was I came here. Okay. And you come here and you edit on the little, did you see the little blue pencil on the side? I was afraid I might be a little bit too quick for you. It said, it was like this, next to detailed targeting. And I just clicked edit. And so I entered public speaking. And I was like, well, is there something that you can suggest to me, like public speaking? And yes, there's an interest. So you can target people who have shown interest in posts that are related to public speaking. Like, okay, these are potential Toastmasters, if not already Toastmasters. So I'm going to target them. And then, because we're all about leadership and public speaking, I put in leadership, and lo and behold, there's an interest in leadership as well. So I've got location Portugal. I'm going to add Spain because this is an Iberian post or campaign. So people living or recently been in Spain. You can actually change if you're interested in people who are just living in the location, people who have visited the location, or people who have shown intent to travel to the location. This could be interesting, for example, if you're in the tourism industry, which is not our case. So we're actually going to target people living in these locations, which is best because we've got a lot of tourists. And of course, we're not targeting them with our campaigns because they're not going to be part of our clubs. Age, so we're clubs for over 18. Let's leave it over 18. Gender, all genders. And in my detailed targeting, I've got leadership and public speaking. Languages, I normally leave languages alone. You can target people who speak Portuguese and Spanish, for example. It kind of reduces your audience a little bit. So if you've got a very broad audience, you might want to narrow it a little bit, and selecting languages can be a way. I'll give you my example. All my social media is in English because I don't like half-baked translations, which sometimes we get in Portuguese. So I leave it in the original language, which is English. So if some ad was targeting people living in Portugal who liked public speaking and leadership, they would probably, cut me out if they were just selecting Portuguese and Spanish. That's why I leave all the languages open, because it depends on the language that you've got your Facebook app defined to. So you can either change that or not. And then connections. Connections is pretty cool because you can target people who like your page, people who are similar in interests and demographics to the people who like your page. And this could be a very interesting audience for you to create. Or you can exclude people who like your page, which makes sense if you're targeting people to like your page. You don't want to be targeting the ones who are already followers. So you can add a connection type to your Facebook page. If you have an app, then you can add the connection to your app. Or if you're creating an event, you can target people who have either responded to your event, or you can exclude the people who haven't responded to your event. So we don't want any of these, but it's just for you to know that they exist. I always recommend using automatic placements, but here I have to show you manual placements because this is the part where you understand where Instagram comes in. So the name of this whole presentation was, no nonsense approach to Facebook and Instagram campaigns, because in case you don't know, Instagram was bought by Facebook many years ago, and it started out being an independent app. It's not anymore. So Mr. Zuckerberg owns it all now, including WhatsApp. So if you want some kinds of campaigns, and reach campaigns are one of them, you can create a campaign even if you don't have an Instagram account. And this is really cool. You can have a Facebook page and you can run ads on Instagram. And then when people click that ad on Instagram, they go to your Facebook page, even if you don't have an Instagram account. Now that's true for Facebook and you don't have Instagram, but it's not true the other way around. So you can have an Instagram account, you cannot run ads on Facebook. Okay, makes sense? I hope I was clear on that. But even if your club does not have an Instagram account, you can target people who use mostly Instagram. And that's, if you've got a target group of 18 to 35, Instagram is the place to be. So this is all the places where my ad is going to show. So all the Facebook feeds, all the stories, in-stream content, the search on Facebook, Messenger for the search, which is the type of campaign we're creating. Not all campaigns will allow you to have all the placements. For example, these search campaigns are the most broad ones, are the ones who allow you to do anything. But if you have engagement campaigns like the ones like Follow My Page, you only have feeds and in-stream, I think. You don't have stories, you don't have search, you don't have messages. Okay, so this is if you want to control how much Facebook is going to spend to reach. I mean, this is a reach campaign, right? So I can tell him, look, I don't want to I know that CPM is around €1 to reach 1,000 people. So I don't want you to spend over €1.50. That would be too much for my campaign. So I can control my costs by giving him bid control, or I can just leave it blank, come back 24 hours later, read the results, see CPM is so-and-so, it's too high, it's too low, and then mess with my campaign, which is what I normally like to do. But you can control if you know that your club president didn't give you more than €2 to spend per day, you can come here and say, look, do not spend more than this, okay? And when you go to next, so this was my ad set, the second level of my campaign. This is where, you think everything should begin. This is where you actually create the image, the video, the copy, the thing that you're going to show to everyone else. But this is actually only the tip of the iceberg. This is what people see. So all the work was done beforehand. You've defined everything you needed to define to make this a successful campaign. So I'm just going to call this, I don't know, ad number 1. So I'm using the Facebook page of Toastmasters Iberia. I'm also using the Instagram account, Toastmasters Iberia. And I'm now creating an ad. What Facebook really does, and this was a recent thing they rolled out, is they get one of your most popular posts from your Facebook page and say, do you want to turn this into an ad? So it's done. You have the image there, you have the copy there. Our primary text is this. It says we empower individuals to become more effective communicators, blah, blah, blah. So this is super easy when you get to this phase. Now, if you have really good creatives in your club or yourselves, and you have really amazing copy that you want really good images or videos that you want to turn into ads. It's really easy. So here in the ad creative, the media section, you just clear everything that was here before, and you say add media, and he says what kind of media. You say, well, I want to add an image. And you can either now upload the image from your computer, if you have, you know, an image there, or this takes a little bit long. Sorry, we are streaming. Okay. Or you can choose one of the images from your Facebook page. So something that has already been posted on your Facebook page, it's already there. And then you choose. And then he says, well, do you have different images for different placements? Which makes sense, because if you want this to be shown in stories, you probably want to make a 9:16 format type of image or video. If you want it to be shown on Instagram, you know, 1 by 1, a little square is the best format you can go for. And if you want to be shown on Facebook, you probably want a horizontal that's a little bit wider. So I'm not going to change anything here, but just to know that you can do it, and you can customize per each placement all the images, you know, with the right size. I'm pretty sure we did this for the learners campaign. We had some really good designers working with us. I don't do design. I mean, it's bad enough I'm a veterinarian doing digital marketing. I don't do design as well. So normally I have really cool designers to work with. And each time I need, you know, some spectacular images, I just go, please give me this in this format, and they comply, and that's all I need. And so if you want your ad copy to be translated to other languages automatically, Facebook has that possibility. It actually works quite well. I have used it for some things between Portuguese and English, at least those two languages. I know that he toggles quite well between them. Tracking events. Tracking events means having a Facebook pixel, knowing a little bit of code, and just inserting this snippet of code into your website so you can track when people come from your ad and go to your website. Don't get into that right now. We're just building simple campaigns. You can, that's a whole nother theme for a whole nother talk, another day. So maybe when we do, you know, Facebook campaigns 2.0 version, we can talk about Facebook pixels then. But for now, this is all you need to know. And you click publish. I don't know if you saw that there. Then when you go back and see the recording, this was it. So right now, my ad, my campaign is in review. This is one of the things that you probably don't know. How do you go back to, you know, that first table with the 3 tabs? You just click on this little cross up here where it says close. Okay, that's one of the things nobody tells you, and you have to desperately search for it the first time you use things. And here we go. So at the ad level, I've got my ad. At the ad set level, I've got my audience that I created, people over 18 in the Iberian Peninsula who like public speaking, who like leadership. And then at the campaign level, here it is. So it's right now in review. This was one I did earlier. It's like a cooking show. This is one I did earlier, which is basically what I just showed you. I'm just going to show you results for the 3 campaigns that we did in for the learners event. So it was a reach campaign, a landing page campaign, so one that promoted traffic to a website, and that website was the registration form. So, you know, you've got a Google form, that's a website, it's a link. So you create a traffic campaign and tell people, go here, register here, and it's done. And the 3rd campaign type was event response. So we had a Facebook event created on the Toastmasters Iberian page, and we tell people, here's the event, show some interest. And people did. So this was what we had in terms of reach. So reach is number of people that have seen your ad. And for the reach ad, as of course, because that was its main goal, the main goal for the reach campaign is go to as many people as you can, and it went. So it went to 11,600 people, something like that. And what we saw was actually this, if you only looked at reach, you'd say, oh, this is performing so much better because it's reaching so many more people. But then what you did see, let me just, as you can see, it spent way a lot less than the others, because by the, I think it was the 29th of November, something like that, 3 days before the end, it was shut down, because what we were seeing was that clicks were not very impressionable from these people. So I'm just going to change the views. You can customize all these columns. You can see all the different metrics that you're interested in. I always advise you to look at click-through rate, impressions, of course, reach, of course, cost per click. If one of the things you're asking people is to click somewhere, then you want to know how much it's costing you. And of course, the CPM, to know how much it's costing you to reach those 1,000 views. Okay. So what we saw was that the frequency, the ads on the landing page or the event campaigns were reaching people with a lot more frequency. And this is actually a good thing. You want, in marketing, we're all always bombarded with the marketing rule of 7. You want people to see your content in 7 different ways from 7 different sources before they take an action. And that's before buying something. So here we want people to do something even simpler, so they don't need so much repetition probably, but for them to take action, they can't just see it the one time and say, oh, this is totally what I want. No, you need, it bears repeating. So you want frequency to be a little bit higher than 1, because if people are just looking at it once, and you can imagine your own experience going through your Facebook feed, I mean, it's just, you know, yes, this is a funny meme, like scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh, Toastmasters. Oh, I'll see it later. And then you never go back to it. So you really want things to keep showing up on people's feeds. You really want the repetition and the frequency, right? So what were we finding? Cost per click in our reach campaign. It was reaching so many people. Were they converting? No, they were not. Cost per click was over the roof. It was 65 cents. So 3 days in, and we looked at this campaign and we were like, this isn't converting. It's not bringing in all the registrations that we want. Shut it down. It was spending €2 per day. Take those €2, give one to the landing page campaign, give one to the event conversion campaign, and they're going to use that money much more wisely. So this is kind of doing A/B testing, but in a manual way, which is always the best way to work. So cost per click was really, really high. The number of clicks, I mean, look at this. It reached like more than twice the number of people of the other 2 campaigns, and the number of people who actually clicked to subscribe, 11. So that's ridiculous. The others were converting way, way higher in numbers. So in total, we had almost 800 clicks for people who were interested in registering. So it was kind of a well succeeded campaign for this learners event. And probably the reason why I'm standing here now talking to you. So I think we're entering the later part of our session. And let me just see if I can. Why am I not seeing? Tiago, can you just stop my sharing the screen for a minute, please?
Sure.
Because I've lost the command somehow. Thank you. So we've been to our Ads Manager platform. Hope you weren't totally overwhelmed by it. You can go back to this video and replay it and redo the steps as frequently as you can, as you like. And if you're a first-time user of Facebook Ads Manager, you're probably going to have a little bit more difficulty in the setup phase, you know, in creating the ad account. Everything else, it's trial and error. And as I always tell my employees, my colleagues, it's just social media. I mean, feel free to make mistakes, feel free to experiment, because some things will work, some things won't. And it's all traceable. I mean, it's all readable. At the end of the day, you can go and look at what you did and say, this is not working. I don't know why, because people didn't, you know, like it, or something's wrong with my copy, or the Facebook ads goal wasn't the ideal one, and we can change it. So just experiment, try things, try new things, but mostly don't just do, you know, that boost post that Facebook tells you to do, which is just click here and spend 10 euros, because that's not the best way to make use of your money. I mean, make really good Facebook ads campaigns, because now you know how. And you can use these 3 main campaign objectives, which is reach, traffic, and engagement. And I mean, you're good to go. Here are my contacts. If anyone needs to, you know, ask me something specific. This was a crash course for beginners, of course. So if you have something specific that you're already running Facebook ad campaigns and you've just, you know, gone into some kind of hurdle that you want me to help you with, feel free, just, you know, shoot me an email and let me know, and I'll do my best to help you if I can. And if you have any questions now, please feel free. If you have the Q&A button at the end of your screen, I'll just stop sharing this for a minute.
I guess that we are all feeling overwhelmed because it was awesome. This is so much information and so much important information. I feel overwhelmed, definitely. But I feel like I have to learn how to do this and how to do this right. So thank you so much, Vanessa. I don't know if anyone has a question for Vanessa. Just use the opportunity because she is the master.
Feel free, if you have Facebook campaigns that you're running right now and you want to share the screen with us and, you know, just help unblock anything, feel free. If you want to do that another time privately, feel free as well. And look, what I always say is that if a veterinarian can, you know, start from scratch and learn all this, then you can too, for sure. And it's not rocket science. I mean, it may seem overwhelming the first time. I totally get that. I was overwhelmed as well at the beginning. So someone is asking us, in average, what is the success rate of a campaign? So my question there would be, what do you define as success rate? Is it new followers? Is it people registering? Viewers versus real customers. Okay, so in a Toastmasters environment, let's consider customers as like people actually enrolling in your club. So right now we know that it's all about, you know, just getting your content in front of people's eyes. So we know that we have at Lisbon Orient Toastmasters a really solid strategic posting frequency, but we know that people aren't seeing the posts because there's very little interaction. So what we want is to get these in front of more eyes. And then when people actually enroll into the club, what you want is to ask them, how did you find us? And if they say Facebook or Instagram, then you know that's a conversion, you know, that's your conversion rate, and that's how you can measure success. So please, if you're doing these campaigns, which we haven't actually started in Lisbon Orient, we're about to, just ask the people, the new members that you have on your at your club, how did you hear about us? How did you come to us? And if social media is the answer, then you're actually doing something right. If you're actually selling something online, if you have an e-commerce platform, or if you actually have a Facebook product list or an Instagram shop, which are more and more, oh, that's a really good question. If people are becoming more and more savvy in doing Instagram shops, I mean, just any corner shop is now doing Instagram lives and is creating links to their products and their prices, then you can really do product ads, and those convert really, really well. I mean, we're talking click-through rates of 10%, and we're talking conversion rates of about 1%, which is really, really high for digital media. So do I think that Facebook is better than other platforms like LinkedIn? Well, I'll tell you this, for this learners event specifically, we did a LinkedIn campaign at the same time with the same goals as the Facebook one. and they're much more expensive right now, because LinkedIn is a more expensive, it's a more specialized, more professional social media platform. But what happened was we were spending so much more on LinkedIn. I think the minimum was 10 euros per day. And you could really, really target your audience. So I could tell people, look, I want people who in their job description have teachers and coaches and, you know, everything related to teaching. But at the end of the day, when we measured the conversions and the number of people who registered to the event, Facebook was converting better every time. So for this, it doesn't work for everything, but for this specific event and for this specific goal, Facebook would have been our best bet the whole way. And we actually spent more on LinkedIn. Right, Vera?
Yeah. Okay, any more questions?
These are really good questions, guys. So, how do you manage your private profile if you leave the club or the role? That's really easy, because when you create an ad account, the ad account is yours, okay? It's yours personally. When I created these ads, these campaigns for Toastmasters Iberia, I created it from my ad account, and then I just, you know, sent all the print screens and all the reports over to Vera and to whoever managed it, and then they paid me back. But if you leave the role, it's the same as your Facebook page. Your admin or your editor to your Facebook page, if you leave that role, someone else has to become admin and someone else has to edit the roles and say who is in the club and who isn't anymore. So you can keep your ad account that you created for yourself, that you can use for whatever thing that you're linked to. But if they take away your role at the page, you're no longer allowed to make ads for that page. So right now I'm linked to the Toastmasters Iberia page. You know, they allowed me to run ads for them. But the day that Vera decides to take me out of the role as an editor, I think I'm an editor or I'm an advertiser, something like that. So there are different levels of
we won't. We won't do that, Vanessa. We need your expertise.
When they remove me from that role, then I can continue to have my ad account because it's mine, but I can no longer continue to run campaigns for Toastmasters Iberia. So that's how it works. Would you advise to launch both Facebook and LinkedIn, shut down the ones not working on both platforms? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like I said, trial and error is your best guess. I mean, I don't know what your goal is. If you're promoting an event, maybe the audience you need to reach is so specific professionally that Facebook targeting just doesn't cut it for you. So you really need to go to a professional website platform like LinkedIn. So totally run ads on LinkedIn and then compare the two. I mean, on Facebook, are they converting? Are they doing what you want them to do? Your call to action, whatever it is, click this, buy here. Are they converting more on Facebook? Are they converting more on LinkedIn? Are you spending more on Facebook or spending more on LinkedIn? When you compare those two, you can totally shut down the one that's not working and say, okay, I have 5 extra euros to spend per day. I'm going to put them where they can bring me the most benefit. That's all there is to it. That's digital marketing for you. In terms of new members, is Facebook performing better than the other platforms such as Meetup and Eventbrite? I would say probably yes, for the simple reason that, you know, the first reason I gave you, that why you should be advertising on Facebook, which is everyone is on Facebook right now. So you, with the, I don't know, 7-8 million users in Portugal, I think you've got like 21 million users in Spain. Yeah, that's probably way more than you have on Meetup or Eventbrite. I mean, I know cases, we have cases in our club that have come to us from other platforms. So my bet is just, you know, be there, be present. But if you're going to spend money on Facebook.
Okay,
but don't disregard
one more question. Sorry, Vanessa.
Yeah, go.
No, one more question. I thought that you have ended. What about Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram for sure. So when I showed you in the ad set placement, in the where you can edit the placements of your ads in the Facebook campaign, you can tell Facebook campaign to be shown on Instagram, and so therefore you can be showing your copy, your image, your video on Instagram to a whole different type of users, because it is true that you have a different demographic on Instagram. And also, I believe, but this is a personal feeling of mine, Instagram is a bit more positive as a social media platform. Facebook already has, you know, too many trolls, too many people who come up to your comment section and just, you know, write idiot things for no sound reason. And Instagram is still, you know, a little bit more positive. It's starting to become a little bit like Instagram, a little bit like Facebook, but you know, that's because everyone is going a little bit crazy from confinement, I guess. But it's still more positive. What I always do, you always should scan your Facebook ads campaigns, because they're being shown as a post. I mean, it's a paid post, but it's being shown to people as a post, and people can still write comments, right? So, you know, scan them from time to time, see if the comments are all positive. You know, you can hide the ones that aren't really great for your image, and some people are just, you know, silly. So you can hide them and just don't give them any interaction, because that's what these people want. And you should definitely be doing that and controlling it for every ad that you make. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the Instagram portion. I'm sorry it was so small, but it was there in the placement. When you're creating your campaign, you can tell Facebook, look, this is to be shown on Instagram as well. It's the same platform. You can actually, and I've done this before, you can create a Facebook ads campaign that is only shown on Instagram. You just go to that placement section in the ad set, and you say, well, show me the manual placements, and you untick all the boxes that say Facebook, Messenger, and the other thing, which I can't remember, and Instagram, and you just leave the Instagram tick on. And so that campaign will only be shown on Instagram. That's an Instagram campaign for you right there.
Okay, I guess that we are running out of time.
Can I make a question?
Oh,
That's a tricky one. So you've got the jackpot. It's a question for either Vanessa or Vera. So I'm the VP PR of my club, and I want to run a campaign. What's my next step? Who should I talk to? What's the budget? You know, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Who should I talk to?
You should be talking to your area director. I've been told, because, you know, I've been doing this for very little time. But I've been told you have to talk to your area director, and the best way is to really make sound budgets. I mean, don't just go, and this is where the wind is blowing, and, you know, give me 50 euros so I can spend on Facebook. Go to the campaign, start building a draft, say, this is the audience I want to reach. This is, you know, I want to go 10 kilometers in a circle around my location, and these are the people I'm targeting. And then Facebook will say, look, you need to spend at least €1, €1.50 per day to reach those people in whatever time frame you have, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever. And with that budget, it's much more sound if you can just print screen this and tell your area director, look, I need to reach 33,000 people, which means I need at least 33 euros. Let's make it 50 so I can reach them more than one time, you know, and increase the frequency which they see my copy. And that's probably the best way for you to start. Yep.
Yeah, perfect, Vanessa. Thank you for answering. It was awesome. So I have told you, Vanessa is the digital girl. She is. Am I right? Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Vanessa. It was awesome. And since we have recorded this webinar, you will be able to see it every time you want, as many times as you need, because I will need to see it so many times until I and all of us become a social media campaign master. So feel free to make mistakes, don't forget that. Next month, we will have a new webinar around public relations issues. We will learn how to make the most advantage of Meetup and Eventbrite. And the Eventbrite and Meetup master is Jose Baizan. I hope I have said it well. And I will reach you again soon with the details. So I hope that you have found this useful. Now go to your clubs and start creating your own social media campaigns. Feel free to make mistakes. Vanessa said it, and Vanessa is the digital girl. Let's reach new members, and I will see you again, all of you, next month. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for all your knowledge shared.
No, thank you guys for letting me
today.
share this. It was an honor, really. Thank you.
So let's go to our clubs and start doing our social media campaigns. See you.
Bye-bye.